You are listening to Offensive Lines with Marlon and Boyd. Small stakes NFL gambling for the average fan.
Welcome to Offensive Lines. I'm Marlon.
I'm Boyd.
And I think we've washed the stink of last week off. We need some winners this week, Boyd.
Yes, we do. Big winners. I want to go get back on the 3-0 streak again.
Yeah, 3-0 to 0-3 is too much of a roller coaster.
And as we talked about after the podcast last night, we might be better. Our podcast might be better when we're 0-3, but I like to make money.
That's true. Okay, let's get right into it. First game up, the Thursday nighter. New Orleans, -2.5 at Carolina.
We're not betting this game.
No, it's Thursday. Who knows? I'm really confident in New Orleans. Read a nice piece about how Ryan has finally stopped blitzing and is basically just playing zone coverage with his cornerbacks, and in the 2 weeks that they've looked all right, that's what they're doing. I like New Orleans.
Yeah, I do too. I still don't trust them outside on grass.
No, I don't trust them outside on grass or on a Thursday night
Cleveland,
where quarterbacks tend to struggle.
Who have they lost to? Cleveland. They've lost to some shitty teams.
They lost to Detroit, which they should have won, but that was indoors. I just want to stay away. It's Thursday night.
No, I'd want to stay away too. Fuck, why isn't it 3? If it was 3, I'd take Carolina.
Yeah, but it's not.
Playing zone doesn't usually work against a running quarterback either.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
When the cornerbacks turn their heads.
Well, and Rodgers who is mobile, was moving it really well till he pulled his hammy. So you might have a point there. But I'm still going New Orleans. You're taking Carolina?
Yeah.
All right. Next game up is off the board. Arizona at Dallas. How do you feel about this Romo injury?
Oh, I don't know. How bad is it? No, the x-rays showed nothing. And he was getting an MRI today. I haven't seen anything about that. But I'm sure if something was wrong, it would have broke national news, breaking news. They would have stopped television programs and everything to let us know. So,
but okay, from watching the game, he laid on his back for about 2 minutes to the point where I was worried. And when he did come back, he didn't look utterly terrible, but it seemed like after they got a first down, he could barely run up to the line.
Well, he might have been having back spasms too
in this game to begin with, because what Washington did was they just sent the house every time. That good Dallas offensive line seemed clueless, and he was not only getting hit, he was getting murdered. Absolutely murdered. And I think Arizona, which is the highest blitzing team in football, or one of them, is going to take that game plan, and they're just going to beat the shit out of him again. I'm not certain he's going to finish.
Well, oh, boy. I don't know who to take here. Arizona on the road's a different team.
Very much so. But they've found ways to get past everything.
Yeah, but their road wins haven't been all that impressive.
No, but they do seem like the team that has the game plan that killed Washington, which is...
Yeah, but they were lucky to beat Philly. Lucky. Palmer didn't look good. Dallas's defense is no slouch either. I'm going to take Dallas.
Okay.
And this one might be changed depending on Romo's status.
Oh, I'm certain he's going to play. I'm just not certain he'll finish.
I just want to see if I'll mark on there if I change it and tweet it too.
Fair enough. Next game up, we have Jacksonville plus 11 at Cincy. Stay away from me.
Yeah, I don't want to bet it. Fuck, how is Cincy an 11-point favorite the way they've looked the last 4 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, they played a gutty good game. They got some luck against Baltimore. 11, I think, is too much for this Cincy team.
Yeah, but Bortles throws 2 picks, and it's fucking a 14-point game. That's what scares me. That's what fucked him in Miami. They were in that game. He threw 2 picks for touchdowns.
Yeah.
Miami did nothing against them. But what scares me is their defense could play really well, and they still lose by 17 because he throws 2 picks.
Well, and who is it? Denard Robinson. They finally realized that Toby Gerhart was Toby Gerhart. They actually seem to have a running game, which should back him off. I cannot, in good conscience, lay 11 with Cincy. I'm going Jacksonville.
Oh, man. They've played really well the last 3 weeks.
And for all
Pittsburgh.
the Bortles fuck-ups, by the way, I still see a lot of potential in him.
Yes.
He's a rookie QB on a bad team. He's
no, I know, but I'm worried about those picks. They missed covering against the Steelers by a half point. They beat Cleveland outright and should have covered against Miami, except for those 2 fucking interceptions.
And it was the interceptions, too. They were game against the Chargers, too, before the Chargers were completely destroyed by injuries. They were gaming. Like, they didn't look like a bad football team.
Give me Cincinnati for now. That one might change, too, but I got to go since I can't trust Bortles on the road.
That's reasonable. 3 games, 3 separate selections thus far.
Well, the Arizona-Dallas game's really iffy for me right now, but I can't trust Bortles. That Dallas one could change. As I'm betting on Arizona next week already for money.
Oh.
I've got Arizona.
Okay.
With the pizza guy.
Oh, pizza guy bets are always a struggle. Okay, next game up, we have the New York Jets plus 9.5 at KC. I kind of like the Jets in this.
That's too much. I'm not betting this game.
Okay, well, it's a thin slate here, Boyd.
I know, but I'm not giving the Jets. I don't care if they were playing on fucking Jupiter and getting 15. I cannot. That's just a shit. That team is gone. Did you hear what Geno Smith said when he got benched? How'd you feel about getting benched? I just went about my day. They don't give a fuck. Everybody's getting fired. Half the guys won't be there next year. They could give 2 fucks. They won't change.
I like the Jets in this spot, by the way. The one thing they can generally do pretty well is shut down the run. And if Jamal Charles is
They're not
limited,
stopping Jamal Charles.
Yeah,
The Jets are awful offensively. The Rams are a better team than the Jets, and Kansas City mopped them. I can't in good conscience bet on a 1-7 team. I know we want to start looking at dogs, but this isn't the dog to put our money on.
Okay, that's reasonable.
We'll keep it. We can keep it in the mix in case we can't find anything else. But
okay, I'll give it a tiny arrow that we might come back to it. But you're probably right. It's not like I was. It's not like I was sold on betting on the Jets.
A 1-7 team with quarterback issues, no appreciable running game, and 1 semi-decent wide receiver. I can't see it.
I want to see what KC can do against the run and against Michael Vick, who didn't look terrible. Who are you going to take just overall?
Chiefs.
I'm taking the Jets. 4 disagreements. Okay. Next up, we have Philly -2 at Houston.
Oh man, no, I'm taking the Eagles here.
I'm taking the Eagles. This might not be the worst thing. I mean, I said that we've got to start looking at some dogs.
This might be a game.
Philly played
that Houston
hard.
defense isn't that good. They give up a
beyond
shitload
J.J.
of points.
Watt, they're not good. Cushing is, the way of all massive steroid abusers. He's injuring himself out of the fucking league. Philly was fairly impressive at Arizona. The coaching disaster was at the end. I'm only worried that they have the come down from giving up that ridiculous play at the end. Do they come back angry, or do they just come back limp?
Well, I don't see how Philly doesn't score 30 in this game. Like, if you look at that Indy game, like, Indy had 24 in the first quarter. The Houston defense, Watt makes plays, but that's about all they have. There's not much.
I agree.
Their secondary
is terrible.
If they don't get a lot of pressure, if Watt's not creating havoc, and Clowney was playing, but he didn't really make many plays against Tennessee. It was still all Watt. And
they still have Fitzpatrick at QB.
And they're good enough to stay in games, but they're not good enough to win.
I think we put this in the mix.
Yeah. We'll come back to this one.
I'm not in love with it, but
because
you know my confusion about Philly in general, and I'm still pissed off about the abysmal coaching by Chip Kelly. Like, his decisions at the end of that game were impossible to defend in my mind.
Yep.
So I'm nervous, but we'll keep that in the mix. Suffice to say, in terms of general picks, we're both on with Philly.
Yes.
Okay. The next game we cannot bet. It is San Diego +1 at Miami.
I like the Chargers here.
I like them, but even if we could bet this, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
To.
Well, no, but here's my reasoning. Miami's a horrible home team. Horrible home team. But they did beat the Chargers in Miami last year, did they not?
The Miami's kind of had the Chargers number ever since we broke Jeff Garcia's face. This was a lot of years ago. But I worry the Chargers have to get back to what they were doing at the start of the season. I've been noticing that they're trying to go vertical a lot more than they did. That O-line is a mirage. What was effective for them early in the season was that Rivers was getting the ball out in 1.5 seconds. Then they got cocky or something, and they're starting to run plays which take 4 seconds of protection. Well, we're not going to have 4 seconds against Miami. Cameron Wake is ridiculously good.
Yeah, but Tannehill.
I know. I mean, I kind of like the Chargers. I think the Chargers are a better team, though decimated by injuries. But I'm
he
really
looked
not
good against Chicago.
with it.
Tannehill looked good against Chicago, looked good against the Raiders, looked like shit in Jacksonville. That's been his whole problem. Inconsistent. And they're not a good home team the last 2-3 years. Horrible at home. If they took care of business at home, they'd have been in the playoffs.
Their skill position players aren't good at any level.
No.
I do like San Diego, but...
Oh, there's the sirens coming to save our last week.
It's pre-EMT for this week.
That's week 8. That's
Medical
week 8 going to the
technicians are coming.
emergency room.
Yeah, I live
Riddled
downtown.
with bullet holes.
It's just the normal noises around here.
Yeah, we're taping this at a detention facility in downtown Calgary.
Okay, so we're both on board with San Diego. Not
Yes.
comfortable. And I really want the injury list to stop growing. And Cameron Wake's, scares me a lot. We've got to, if San Diego's going to win this, we've got to start getting the ball out in under 2 seconds.
You got to run the ball. Run the ball. How do you stop a pass rush? Run the ball.
Run the ball or
Play action
throw
pass.
to the slot guys.
Play action,
get
run
the
the
ball
ball,
out
run the
fast.
ball, run
Don't
the ball,
let
run the
Cameron
ball.
Wake take the 3 seconds he needs to murder people.
What's the strategy for good pass rushers outside of J.J. Watt? Run right at him. Make him play the fucking run. Teams get away from that now. Make him play the fucking run. Tire him out. There's only one J.J. Watt playing right now. Run at Cameron Wake. He's undersized. Fucking run at him. Just fucking
put
pound
out a
him in the
big
mouth.
tight end to chip him.
Pound him in the mouth for a quarter and a half. You have the running game to do it, and everything will open up for Breeze on the play or Rivers on the play action. That's fucking just run at him. I don't know why teams don't do that anymore, but it used to be the strategy that worked. Because most of these guys
worked against
now,
LT. I mean, it didn't work against Bruce Smith, but point taken.
no, but that used to be a strategy. They don't even talk about it anymore. Because it's all fucking got to throw the ball 45 times a game.
No.
Run at these fuckers. Make them play the run. See if they want to do
That's
it.
true.
Most
That's
of them want
a
the stats.
weakness in Wake's game.
So that's how they win. If San Diego establishes the running game early, they'll win that game. If they try and do it all with Rivers, it's going to be fucking like last year, and they'll lose by a field goal.
Yeah, and it could be a really interesting game. They're both teams that need this win to make this season matter. Okay, next up, we have Tampa Bay plus 6.5 at Cleveland.
I like this game.
Which side?
Cleveland.
Really?
Yes, they're good at home. They cover at home. They may suck on the road, and I know you said that Raider game was kind of closer than it looked, but
it really
Tampa
was, man.
Tampa's still one of the worst teams in the league.
That's true. I still don't like laying close to a touchdown on Cleveland.
The other games out there aren't much more attractive.
Oh, I know. We'll definitely be keeping it in the mix, but again, I watched a shocking amount of the Raiders Cleveland game. They didn't look good. Hoyer has not looked good in 2 weeks. He got destroyed by Jacksonville and didn't look good against a Raiders defense, which is terrible.
Yeah, but neither did New England.
I agree with you. Cleveland's going to win, but 6.5 seems heavy. We'll keep it in the mix.
Tampa's quarterback play has been abysmal. I said last week, don't mind Glennon. Oh, he looked like fucking Tannehill last week. First half numbers were like 50
Tannehill.
yards passing, fucking... No, I'm insulting Glennon. When you compare him to Tannehill, I'm insulting him. Glennon. Because Tannehill had 50 yards passing, and so did fucking Glennon. Brutal. They had fucking Doug Martin on the block, trade deadline. They're in disarray. They have fucking Lovie Smith. I don't know what the fuck he's doing there, but it isn't good.
Is he playing for a draft pick?
Well, they're not competitive.
No. They are, like,
and believe
when
it or
we were
not,
talking earlier about Jacksonville, when you watch them, actually looks like a professional football team light, They aren't embarrassing to watch.
No, they play with
Tampa
emotion.
Bay is.
They play with emotion. They're playing for each other there. There's something going on there that doesn't look like a 1-7 team.
No, and I do like Bortles, and even though I don't mind Glennon, yeah, okay, this one's definitely in the mix. I pray to God we find something better than what we found so far.
There's not. I'm looking down the list here, buddy.
Yeah.
It's pretty slim.
Okay. That one's in the mix. Next game up, Washington and Minnesota is off. I assume simply because no one knows if RG3 is playing or not.
Yeah. And I saw Colt McCoy's numbers today. They weren't bad.
No, and they looked good, too, watching them.
25 of 30?
You know, he doesn't have a deep arm, and that showed up on occasions, but he looked very in control of that offense.
He had 6 incompletions in 6 quarters. Playing the Titans and the Cowboys. No, seriously, though. That's
I know. And 2 of those were deep because, in general, they're only letting him throw the ball about 7 yards through the air, which is fine with a backup quarterback with a weak arm in that situation. That's just using him correctly. That's not
but Joe Montana made it to the Hall of Fame throwing 7-yard slants.
Oh, I know. No, it wasn't. It wasn't meant to be an insult. You know, there was when he went deep and had Deshaun Jackson 2 steps beyond. He couldn't even heave it 50 yards. So he's not the long-term answer. I like Washington in this game. We obviously can't bet on it being off the board.
No, I'd like fuck that Minnesota defense, though.
They're interesting, but Washington's defense is almost as good as Minnesota's defense.
Yeah, they get pressure on the rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
See, RG3 makes it interesting, though, if he starts. Because he could be shit, and they won't pull him.
Yeah, that's true. I weirdly enough, I like Washington more with Colt McCoy.
But they won't pull him.
They started to use Haleu and Morris a lot more in that Dallas game. Now, they probably also are going to be deflated coming off what's going to be the signature victory of a lost season for Washington.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still on Washington, but we can't bet it anyway.
Yeah, no, I take Washington too. I can't.
This might change. If they announce RG3 is playing, I might switch it to Minnesota. And that just sounds backwards, but I honestly believe that.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking Washington too.
Next up, we have the Rams, plus 10 at the Niners.
Too many points.
Only by a little, though.
Yeah, if it was a touchdown, we'd talk about it. The Rams always seem to give the Niners trouble. They beat them at home last year, I think, or 2 years ago. Was it last year? No. 2 years ago, they ended in a tie.
But we've kind of seen this in St. Louis. I mean, the Rams got up 14-0, and the Niners comfortably covered.
10's just too much to bet.
It kind of is, and this is from the guy who was saying we should take more dogs, but Niners are coming off the bye. They're starting to get some people back.
Rams got smoked in Kansas City.
Destroyed.
But for whatever reason, these Rams-Niners games the last 3 years are unpredictable.
Yeah, it's a good reason to back off, and yeah, I don't want to lay 10. I don't want to lay 10. Why am I talking myself into this in my head?
For whatever reason, division games are, unless you're the Titans, fucking weird. They always end up tighter than normal, than they should be. Dallas, Washington, that shouldn't have been a Washington win. But division games are division games. So, I'm taking San Fran, but I don't want to bet it.
Okay. I'm kind of with you on that. I'm taking the Niners, too. And I'm close to wanting to bet it. But Next,
I'd rather bet on the next game.
Yes, I would, and I hope we're on the same side. I want New
I have a
England.
No.
Denver minus. Okay, Brady is 8-1 as a home dog. No, I love New England in this.
How is New England stopping them? Unless you have a weather forecast that it's going to be raining or 40-mile-an-hour winds, I don't know how New England hangs with them.
Okay, I like New England in this position. Denver, frankly, didn't blow my mind in that Thursday game. Chargers should have been tighter. I think New England's a better team right now than the Chargers. In spite of the loathsome New England fans who, cheered the guy who blew out his knee. Way to go, New England. Keep it classy.
Well, okay, in their defense, the guy was celebrating a sack down 43-23 or 48-23 with 3 minutes left on the backup quarterback.
I know. He shouldn't have been celebrating, but you don't cheer injuries. You just don't. That's the code.
I got nothing against it when you're fucking being an idiot like that.
He was being an idiot, but I'm just against you don't cheer injuries.
I'm watching, put this in perspective. I'm watching my Houston Rockets play the Lakers tonight. I flip over to the game, and it's in mid-highlight, slow-motion replay of Carlos Boozer getting a dunk or a layup and getting fouled, and then pumping his fist and motherfucking this and that and everything. And then it comes back from the highlight, and Houston's up 16. That's why you cheer when guys get hurt. If you're in the fourth quarter and you're down one and you make that play, cheer, fucking celebrate all you want. When you're down 16, put the ball in the basket or complete the sack and just go back to the fucking huddle. You don't need to pound the spike, take a selfie, fucking do a dance. Fuck all. Time and place in a game is how celebrating should be determined. And if you're stupid enough to do that at that point in the game, fuck it, you deserve to get injured because it's just fucking retarded.
Well, that's cool. I disagree. You don't cheer injuries.
No, but what are you celebrating?
You won't shake me from that.
What are you celebrating down 25 points with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter?
I know. But that idiocy does not excuse the later idiocy. There's no connection between the two.
If he gets hurt making a tackle, I'm not cheering his injury. When he gets hurt doing a sack dance, fuck him in that situation. Didn't they see him? Didn't they see it happen to Steven
There's a difference between fuck him and applauding it. It's like you can think in your head, yeah, you deserved that, fucker. But you don't cheer.
Just verbalize it.
There's a contract between the entertainers and the viewers, and I think that crosses the line.
You're an idiot. No, when you're an idiot, I don't think they're crossing the line when you're acting like an idiot. It's not like they cheered Michael Irvin got hit and fucking they thought he was paralyzed in Philly, and they cheered that. No, you don't cheer that. But when a guy's doing a dance for no fucking reason, go ahead and cheer New England all you want.
Okay, we beg to differ, and I don't think we can bet on this because we're on different sides.
Yeah, I can't take fucking New England. What's their signature win?
What's Denver's?
Kansas City? Indy?
Arizona played them hard. They played different
won
on the road too. Let's see. I mean, this obviously is the marquee game of the week, and New England at home is like 64-20 against the spread. As dogs, they're an absurd because they're almost never dogs. They're an absurd 8-1. Yeah. It's a big game, and don't you say that Peyton folds in the big games?
Yeah, but not in the regular season. Denver's the best team in football right now.
I agree.
And 3 points to Brady and that inconsistent shit they've put together this year.
Yeah, it was inconsistent, but it's been relatively consistent, except against
2
the
weeks
Jets,
ago.
and that's
No.
that's divisional. Didn't you say for whatever reason divisional games are different? I'm just saying.
Jets. Denver's defense is totally different than the shithole that gave up a 24-point lead last year.
Well, this game isn't going to be won by Peyton Manning. This
gonna be
game will be
by
won
Ronnie
up the
Hillman.
middle. Ronnie Hillman. If Denver wins and dominates, it's Ronnie Hillman going through the soft center of New England.
And pass rush.
And
What's Brady struggled with this year when he struggled? What every quarterback struggles with, no time. That offensive line hasn't really improved that greatly, has it?
it's okay, but they've also changed their game plan to like quick passes. They've got Gronk back, so they aren't an abomination in the red zone anymore. I still like New England in this.
I can't bet against the team we have at the top of our list. Both of us. No questions asked. We both said last night. Enough said.
Yeah.
And you want to bet against them.
No, I don't want to bet against them. Once you went to Denver, I just took it off the board. I'm taking New England, though. And
Okay,
I'm
I'll
not going to
take
bet on Denver.
I'll take Denver.
Okay. Oakland plus 15 at Seattle.
I don't want to touch this either.
What did you say earlier? I don't care if they're playing on Jupiter. I think this is way too fucking much, but I'm not going to put our money on Oakland. I'm going to take them.
No, I'll take Seattle.
15's hilarious for a team that is 4-3 and has won. You get rid of the Green Bay game to open the season. They've won the games that they've won by something like 4.5 points. It's hilarious. But I still can't touch them. Oakland is just poison.
Yeah.
Even though I do think they played 3/4 of a good game before Cleveland got away from them. But yeah, I don't want to touch this. 15 though.
Yeah, well, Cleveland won by 10?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong, Boyd.
Rookie
I'm
quarterback.
not trying to make this an argument, but
A rookie quarterback in Seattle with that crowd noise, the advantage they have playing at home, second to none. And
Carter, by the way, did look actually really good once again. I'm not trying to sway you here, but we both like Carr in this rookie campaign of his. He didn't lose that game. He looked once again. You said it first.
He did throw
probably
that
going
off
to turn out to be the best of this rookie quarterback class. I think you might have been right.
He did throw an awful pick, though. That was inexcusable.
Yes.
He fumbled the snap on a shotgun and fucking just chucked it up.
Well, that's classic rookie quarterback. That's panic shit,
And what are you going to do in Seattle when you can't hear anything? Panic. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the defense doesn't score a couple of touchdowns in this game.
Well, let's see. This could be important for them. They can reestablish that their defense is for real because they certainly haven't looked at.
Well, they did hold Cam Newton to shit. But that game wasn't on the defense in Carolina.
No,
that was the only reason they were in the game.
Played pretty well against. Now, admittedly, the O-line in Carolina is almost non-existent at this stage. They are down to fourth-string guys at, I believe, both guard and one tackle position. So it's one thing to beat up on scrubs who are usually playing special teams, if anything. So, yes, they held Cam Newton, but Carolina is almost as injured as San Diego.
Fuck, I'm laying a lot of points this week. And they can't all cover. Holy fuck.
But no, I'm don't get me
But the
wrong.
teams
I
that are
didn't want us to bet on Oakland in this game. But 15 from a team that hasn't impressed me?
I just can't in good conscience not.
No.
Like even
I'm taking Oakland, but I'm not far off your position. Like this is
like okay, I don't think I'm off base too much. Okay, Jets. I'm laying 9.5 in the KC game with the Jets. Jets are 1-7. I'm laying 11 in Cincinnati. Jacksonville's 1-7. And Seattle, 15 I'm laying. The Raiders are 0-8 or 0-7. Whatever the
you're
fuck
laying
they are.
10 for the Niners too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
you're
Rams
laying a
are
lot of
2 and
points.
6.
Like I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong. I'm just
No, one or possibly two of these aren't going to be covered, but I just can't for the life of me take Oakland plus 15. They're that bad.
Well, I think they're good value at 15, but not to the point where I would ever wager a thin Canadian dime on them.
Okay, give me Seattle. Fuck.
All right.
Some of these might change because it's just the odds of fucking 4 teams covering that much is never going to happen. I just have to figure out which one I need to change.
Reasonable. Okay. Next game up, we have Baltimore as a pick'em at Pittsburgh. I so want to stay away.
I do too, but we don't have many games left. And I think we've only, how many do we have arrowed? 2?
2.5, let's call it. Now, I just can't figure out Pittsburgh now.
I can't figure out Baltimore.
It's cursing me because it's kind of like New England. Every time I want to throw another spade full of dirt on their fucking hapless corpse, they fuck me. I hate Pittsburgh. I hate their coach. I hate their terrible fucking field. I hate their bumblebee uniforms. I hate everything about Pittsburgh.
I don't know
that
how
said, 51 is 51.
But I don't know how they come from that game in Cleveland where they scored 3 points to what they did last Sunday.
And Baltimore beat the holy shit out of them in week 2 or 3.
Yeah. This has been my whole argument all year. You can't take one performance or look at their body of work and figure fuck all out.
Like, I'm going to take Baltimore because I still think that top to bottom, they're a better team.
They are, and if they wouldn't have got beat by Cincinnati on the road, I'd be with you right now, and I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you, because
we know Baltimore plays totally different on the road, too. For whatever fucking reason, they're a totally different road team.
Well, they're an inconsistent team. Isn't the other Harbaugh supposed to be a good coach? Like, I've always said that
Denver's been the only consistent team all year.
Wild inconsistency is, I believe, attributable to a coach. You know, it doesn't matter about win or loss necessarily, but if you're getting a constant level of effort and performance out of a team. Now, I'm taking Baltimore right now, but if Jimmy Smith isn't playing at corner for Baltimore, I'm probably going to switch this to Pittsburgh. Because Antonio Brown is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he is.
And now that they've got that, who's that rookie that they brought in? Martavis
Bryant, isn't it?
Yeah. Now that they've got him to at least take some of the coverage off Brown, they're looking really good. So if Baltimore has a fully healthy Jimmy Smith to take out Brown, I like Baltimore in this. This is one I might change. Right now on Baltimore.
Oh, fuck. They split this season series every fucking year.
That's a really good point.
I'm taking Pittsburgh.
You know what? Right now I'm going to switch to Pittsburgh. Sickens every fiber of my existence.
Me too. Oh, fuck. You don't hate Pittsburgh any more than I do.
No. It's a very, very similar level of hatred we have for Pittsburgh.
Okay, Denver's last 4 games. Won by 21, 14, 25, and 14. And that's against 3 teams that have been in our top 5 this year.
You're welcome to bet them. I'm not changing. I'm taking New England.
Arizona, San Diego, and San Francisco.
Arizona with their project quarterback.
Yeah,
and that game was tight.
With Carson
Denver's
Palmer.
really good, but no. No, I'm not switching. Quit your research. I'm not going to take Denver.
I just don't know how we... It's the top team. Only laying 3.
On the road against a team that's 8-1 as home underdogs in Brady's career. Anyway, next game up. Indy, -3 at the Giants. They pissed us off, but they still put up points. I like this one. What do you think?
Yeah, there's nothing better. And Giants are beat up.
They're off a bye week, but I don't believe that Coughlin is a particular hero off the bye week. Indy was just humiliated, and they know they're a good team overall. Who is it? Dante Adams? Is that the safety for Indy?
No, I was thinking of the corner, Davis. Is he out?
He was
out last
practicing again this week.
That was the one thing we missed. I was focusing on
he got
Richardson
hurt in that game.
Yeah, so him being out hurt us, I'm guessing.
Oh, very much so.
But 51 points from a defense that we thought was pretty good. Statistically, they were.
It's
By
the
new
humiliation.
metrics.
They're going to bounce back. I like laying 3 with Andy here.
Yeah.
I still don't buy into this Giants shit.
No. Okay, let's book that one because that's the only one I have any confidence in out of the games we had marked.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Indy -3 at New York. $10 is going to pay $18.33.
Oh, goodness.
That's
Public's
booked,
all
yes.
over Indy.
Yeah, that's -120. So, which other ones
in our
do you like?
2.5, we have Jets +9.5, which I like. You don't.
No, they're
At
just
KC.
a bad football team. You used to be able to hang something on their defense, but...
Okay.
Fuck.
I think much more likely to get agreement here is Philly -2 at Houston.
Yes. And what was the other one we had?
Tampa Bay +6.5 at Cleveland.
Holy fuck.
Let's book Philly.
Okay. So we've got Philly -2 at Houston. $10 pays $19.09. Done. Where's our best value for an underdog right now?
I like the Jets with the dog killer.
I just can't see Kansas City not winning that by more than 10. How come there's no dogs that are like close, that are a decent team other than New England? I just don't trust New England. Fuck.
See, I like New England in this spot,
I know you do, but I don't.
You don't. And
believe me, I would, if I was betting with my heart here, I would want to see the New England fans cheering Peyton Manning carted off on a fucking stretcher. But my head tells me that New England's been too inconsistent. Denver has a pass rush. Every big test they've had this year, they've come up to and passed. Even their best game.
To get into my conspiracy, it's my belief that the league is trying to award Peyton a go-away Super Bowl.
Well, no. They would have given him the Seattle win then.
This is out of left field a little bit, but how about Jacksonville?
See, my problem is these teams are 1-7.
Has Cincy shown us anything in 4 weeks that really blew your mind?
No, but when they play the shitty teams, they blow them out.
Maybe. Don't forget, though, I have most of my players in fantasy are on Cincy. And God hates me. So this almost guarantees a Cincinnati abortion.
Fuck me. Fuck that. I knew this week was going to be tough when we looked at it. Or when I looked at it before. Is AJ Green playing this week?
He says he is, but there's been limited practice thus far. Sanu's been playing well.
Can Jacksonville stop the run?
Yeah.
How can a guy bet in good conscience on a 1-7 fucking team?
Because you're getting 11 points. I think it's an overvalue. Like, since he hasn't beaten much of anyone by 11 recently, they're still injured through the middle. They don't get pressure as a general rule.
Oh, I just keep going back to why I didn't pick him in my picks. Bortles throwing 2 picks.
And that's a valid point. I mean...
That's what fucked Baltimore.
I think this might be our best value as an underdog. I think we got to stretch a little bit on this. Because I like Jacksonville plus 11 more than I like Tampa plus 6.5. And, you know, Jacksonville is...
Wasn't that an argument for Cleveland then?
Pardon? No.
Isn't that an argument for Cleveland then?
No, I don't want to lay 6.5 on Cleveland. I watched a lot of that Raiders game. Cleveland, yeah, they covered it, but don't forget they got blown up by Jacksonville.
This is the toughest one I've ever had. I keep looking up and down the list, and there's nothing popping.
Our only other wild move is to go New Orleans.
Oh, I trust them on the road about as far as I could pull my wiener out of my pants.
I don't even enjoy it if they win. I kind of like Jacksonville here. That's where I'm casting my vote.
Let's do it. Change my pick on our sheet.
Oh, absolutely.
Can't believe we're doing it, but we're doing it. We are taking Jacksonville Jaguars plus 11 on the road in the jungle. $10 pays $19.09. I can't believe I'm doing this. It's fucking booked.
It's a tough week, man.
I actually concurred on a fucking bet on a 1-7 team.
Well, the selection wasn't great. Let me recap.
If I see Bortles throw a fucking pick for a touchdown in the first quarter, I'm going to throw my remote through the screen. Fuck.
Don't do that. It only compounds your loss. All right. To recap, we have, perhaps surprisingly, taking Jacksonville plus 11 at Cincy. 10 pays 1909. We have Philly minus 2 on the road at Houston. $10 pays 1909. And we have Indy minus 3 on the road. $10 pays 1833. I hate the fact that we're so with the public on that one.
I have no confidence in these picks.
That's good. That's good.
Fuck.
Okay, why don't you tell the listeners where we're at?
All right, one quick thing. Tomorrow will be our 1,000th blog post. Just a little pat on the back for us.
Fucking right on.
3.5 years or however long we've been doing it now. So check it out if you want. I'm not doing anything special. I tried looking for something we could cut together just to make celebrities look like they were wishing us a happy or an anniversary kind of or a milestone achievement. I couldn't find anything, so that's where it lays in my mind. Fuck of a consciousness, I guess. But I'd like to just thank everybody for checking out the website and listening to our podcast. We appreciate it. We'd do it if nobody was listening, but we appreciate the ones of you that are. You can check out our podcast on iTunes or Stitcher for your Android device. Listen to it on our website, offensivelines.ca. Follow us on Twitter at Offensive Lines for any updates to our blog posts or when a new podcast is available, or on our personal Twitter accounts at OLinesMarlon or at OLinesBoyd, Facebook.com/Offensive Lines, and if you want to send us an email, it's offensivelines@shaw.ca. I'm Boyd.
I'm Marlon, and I didn't know about the 1,000. Way to go, boy.
Yay for us.
Degenerate fucking gambler.